everyone, welcome back. It is time for another week of reviews. This week, we are popping out 3 reviews for you guys. That's right, 3 reviews for you guys this week. That's right, 3. We've had a busy week. No going Ontario place today. We're just gonna
don't go to RLG and subscribe.
do that. But we are reviewing our first review of the week is going to entail last week's New Japan Strong episode of. You're right there, buddy.
Yeah, just stupid thing behind cushion thing. It's all over the place.
Mine's just right there. It's nice and comfy. But we're going to be reviewing New Japan Strong's Lonestar Shootout. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything. We are approaching the end of the year, guys. We got a month and a half left on 2023. That would mark 2 full years of doing wrestling reviews. So by showing your love and support, make sure you give this video a like, throw it a thumbs up, give it a, give it a psycho knee and give it a thumbs up.
Listen, just subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, we'll find your names and come to your house with a list like Jay and Silent Bob and anyone who's a clown shoe.
Yes. With the Stroke 9 playing in the background, how many people want to kick some ass?
I nailed it.
Yes. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get these reviews out there. Let's get other people watching these reviews because there's very few of us covering New Japan, Noah, and now some DDT. So the more people that watch, the better it is. So back again, this time we are in Texas. We are reviewing Lonestar Shootout. Like I said, this is Joey Janela's debut in New Japan. And
Big J.
Yeah, exactly. We'll start with a couple pre-show matches. The first one was Matt Vandergriff against Barrett Brown. I called him Bobby Brown for most of the match, but it was an opening match. Clearly, they are putting their stock into Vandergriff.
What was this?
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I mean, and it's not to say that either one of the wrestlers is not good. I just didn't. It was so fast and it was so not worth my time. Okay, this is the thing I'm noticing.
Explain. These are their versions. This is Strong's version of like their Young Lions,
and that's fair. But like when we watch a show, this AEW puts on pre-show events, and so does Impact in order to hype you up for the event. Where same with Noah. New Japan and
Noah will always throw out Muhammad Yone.
Well, Noah always, it's like a hype event, but New Japan and New Japan Strong is like they just want to show off their young wrestlers and they don't care how good the match is. And it's like that did it give me hype to watch this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If anything, I wanted to not watch this pay-per-view.
Let's just say it set the tone for the rest of the card.
Yeah, the tones were set.
Yeah.
Deftones.
Exactly. So Vandergriff goes over. That's the guy they're pushing. That's their next big guy, I guess, in Strong. The guy they want to push. Their next Kevin Knight. Their next DKC, whoever you want to call it.
Ooh, the DKC.
Yeah, which we'll see later on in the show. Are we? No, DKC is not on the show. With that, we go to our next pre-show match, which was a much better match. Fred Rosser versus Tom Lawler.
Oh, this was good. I like this. Fred Rosser is super underrated.
Yeah. Many people may remember Fred Rosser back in the WWE. He was part of the Titus O'Neil's primetime players.
So I have a question. I never watched that time. Did they use him being gay as like
no
crutch?
No, they I think they kind of tried to hide it.
Really? I'm surprised.
Darren
that
Young,
seems like something WWE would try to exploit.
Towards the end, yes. But you know how WWE is very so they made him very over the top gay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Whereas like in DDT, spoilers for the next episode, being gay is like a part of the comedy. And
yes,
I'm not gay to find it offensive, but
I didn't find it. No, I thought it
didn't come off offensive. It comes off as like real comedic. As like comedy. But the thing is they're so like gay is such a crutch in DDT. It's so strange.
Yeah, it was a strange show, but it was. One thing I'll notice. We'll talk about this in our review tomorrow because stay tuned because that's the review for tomorrow. DDT's Ultimate Party 2023. it was it relies more on gimmicks than it did in ring competition. I noticed.
I'm definitely lagging.
Yeah, a little bit. But Fred Rosser goes over. Fred Rosser, what? You think he's in line again for facing Eddie Kingston, or is he going to face Shingo?
I don't think he's facing anybody. I think he's now entered the put over stage of his career.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because you see a lot of stuff now on Instagram and like whatever about him. He has his own dojo. He's heavily working behind the scenes.
I know him and Romero are working really tightly in the Strong.
They're both working together to find talent and to train the talent. So I think he's taking more of like a leadership role now than actually like trying to win titles.
And then they'll trot him out every once in a while to put on a match, and
they'll put him in a couple feuds where eventually he puts someone over.
Yeah, I like that idea. Fred Rosser, he's an underappreciated he was the better part of the primetime players as Darren Young, and better than Titus O'Neil. At least he never tripped and fell under the ring.
Yeah, poor guy.
But that ends the pre-show. Fred Rosser goes over. We go into our first match of the evening. It is Tiger Mask, Atlantis, and Mascarada Dorada against Hechicero, Rocky Romero, and Ultimo Guerrero. Mascarada Dorada is essentially Metalik from AEW. That's him. It's the same guy.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack with this match.
Yes.
There was quite a lot of El Dandying in the first opening.
A lot of corpsing.
Two guys were just rolling around on the floor, bumping into each other's legs and knocking the other person over. There was one like I can't even, my brain's not working.
Neither is your internet.
Oh yeah, that's normal. Like a leg takedown from the ground. What do you call that?
A leg takedown.
Okay, but like
where he's lying on the ground and he kind of takes the legs.
So Ultimo Guerrero did it to Atlantis,
right?
And it was like in super slow motion. It looked like nothing even happened, but somehow
both these guys, the combined age of the two of them is 130.
I know, but like, why are we watching this? And then there's an arm drag that immediately follows it. That was like super slow motion again. That looked like nothing even happened, but somehow the guy flew. Okay.
This is Rocky.
Older than both of them.
Yes. But this is Rocky Romero doing his best Eddie Kingston. I'm going to work with all these Mexican legends before we all retire. Basically. But it was a match. Mascarada Dorada goes over.
It was a match.
They're really CMLL is really high on Mascarada Dorada, Metalik, whatever his name is, wherever the promotion he goes to. Campo's got to adjust his internet over here. We'll go to our second match of the night. A debuting Joey Janela for New Japan facing Toru Yano. Toru Yano is at his comedic best here. I really enjoy watching Toru Yano as a comedy match when he's not in a serious feud.
I like that Janela called him out and said we're doing
no
hardcore.
DQ. Yeah.
And then he wrestled like the Toru Yano that I like to watch.
Yeah, the dick punches and all.
He power bombed him through some chairs.
Yep. It was old school Yano with the comedy bit. We get the taping up of the wrists, like, the usual stuff, removal of the turnbuckles, couple ref bumps. Surprisingly, Toru Yano goes over.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither. I was expecting Joey Janela to go over, and like maybe Joey Janela, this is somebody that could topple Eddie Kingston eventually. Because for some reason Eddie Kingston keeps winning. Toru Yano goes over. Next match of the night was Bullet Club War Dogs members Coughlin, Chase Owens, Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors against the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kevin Knight, Kushidas, and Gorillas of Destiny members Tamatonga and Tongaloa. This is setting up their tag team run, I think. Eventually.
I'm not frozen. I didn't freeze.
No, you're just pondering. Because Bishamon is still champs, but Yoshihashi's hurt. And
they're both hurt.
They both hurt? Just give up the damn titles.
Yeah. And they're both going to be in tag league. Like, why? Just let them.
Why don't the winners of tag league win the belt?
Yeah. Anyways,
vacate the belts and
this
give
was
it to
not a good
Narita and
match.
Kiyoyama. Yeah. No, it wasn't at all.
This should have been a good match. It was
on
not.
paper. On paper, it's a good match.
Yeah. It wasn't.
No. Chase Owens is champion of something.
Yeah.
They didn't even explain what championship he has, did they?
No, which is weird because New Japan usually loves to tell you what belt someone's holding.
Yeah. If it's one of their belts. If it's not one of their own, they kind of gloss over.
They always say it.
Yeah.
They talk about Kenta being that champion all the time, whatever it is, Defy.
The Defy, yeah, that's true. But they have a working relationship with Defy, right?
Maybe. Anyways, who cares? This match was not good.
Nope.
Awkwardly, we thought, hey, this is setting us up for the tag thing, like you said, but it's not. It's setting us up for Shingo again facing
Tama Tonga.
In spoilers. A match that I don't want because I don't need Tama Tonga to be that champion anymore. I need Tama Tonga to be the tag team champion.
Or put him in the main event. Like, he can't be stuck in the mid card.
He can't do main event. It's not even like he can't be stuck in the mid card. Him being the open heavyweight championship doesn't mean anything to me. When there's people like Shingo who truly deserve to be singles champions.
Yeah.
Or like Tai Chi or somebody like that. Why are we? You have one of the greatest tag teams of all time, at least of the last 5 years.
Yes, video coming soon. We keep saying that. We keep teasing that.
But you're not utilizing them. You've had both of them wrestling singles since the G1 tournament.
This is the first time they've actually. This is the first time. That's why on paper this looked like a good match. This was the first time they've tagged together since Tonga Loa returned, isn't it?
This is true.
But instead, the Bullet Club War Dogs go over. They pin Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight was there to take the fall, I guess, because they don't want anybody else. Nobody else, probably everybody else refused to take the fall in this match.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You know what? This match, like, the one thing I put on my notes is this match was all over the place. I couldn't understand head nor tails of this match.
Yeah, no, neither could I.
It made no sense.
That's something that's gonna show up to. It's also like we should just get this stuff out of the way now. It's extremely poorly filmed and extremely poorly lit. It's also the announcing was mediocre.
Fake Ian Riccoboni and Veda Scott. Yeah. He's okay. I'm just not a fan of Veda Scott. I'm sorry.
I don't mind her. I don't, but I'm starting to notice, and like I mentioned this to you, she's on every single indie wrestling company's pay-per-views. She was at the New Jersey one that I sent you when Billy Starks faced Mike Bailey. She was at Revolver. She's at like anything thing
that Mike Bailey's at, she's at because that's her husband.
Yeah, but it's like, how does that correspond to her getting the job as?
I don't know. Even though she's a veteran, she's like 10 years older than he is, and she's been in the wrestling industry for 20 years.
Either way, it wasn't the best announcing we've heard, even though Veda has been getting better. This was like a downwards turn, and it sounded horrible.
Yeah, the audio was pretty bad in this. The audio was pretty bad. The camera angles were pretty bad. The cuts, the camera cuts were bad too.
The lighting was awful. The lighting was so bad.
Yeah, I know. With that, the War Dogs go over. We'll go into our next match. It is the West Coast Wrecking Crew members, Royce Isaacs and Jor-El Nelson, against the defending strong openweight tag team champions of Hikuleo and ELP, Mr. El Phantasmo himself. This was one of the few high points of the show. El Phantasmo singularly, yeah.
The rest of this match was
dog poo.
I kind of like WCWC, but they're so overused and strong. Like they're their only real good tag team. So it's like every tag team match has them, and I'm just so tired of it. It's kind of like, and it's like I said, not like they're bad, but they're like the what are they called?
Day. Just
not the New Day, not the New Day. The group in AEW that they were the part of the Trios Championship.
House of Black?
No, they with Brian Cage.
Oh, and the embassy. Was it the Mogul Embassy?
Mogul Embassy. Those two guys. They're like the same, exactly the same to me. They wrestle the same style. They're the same type of characters. It's just
Mhm.
like so. And every time there's a match at Ring of Honor for a tag team match, they're always part of it.
Yeah. Even though
Anyways,
Ring of Honor has the Righteous, with
yeah,
the
even
best
though
theme
Ring of
song,
Honor has the Lucha Brothers and like so many things.
even though
Um,
Samoa Joe is defending a belt that he doesn't even have.
by the way, they're doing an eliminator tournament for it.
Another one for which ones? The tag,
No, for
the
the
TV championship.
television
Yeah,
title.
yeah, I know. Another one. What?
Unfortunate.
Why don't they just let Joe run with it?
Anyways, back to this match.
Yes. ELP was the high point of this match. West Coast Wrecking Crew was there, and Hikuleo, after he started getting a little better, he kind of fell off again. And I know you're not frozen. It's just bad. Move on. Gorillas
I'll move my hand so you can tell at the
Yeah.
points when I'm lagging.
Gorillas
You
of
can see-
Destiny retain, as we knew they would. They weren't going to lose this match. We'll go into our next match, which is another one, a high spot of the show, which was Mystico versus TJP.
This was maybe the best match.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the better ones. Yes,
But at this point, how many matches have we seen, including the pre-show? This is
including the
sixth
pre-show. This
match?
is the 7th match. Yeah,
And it's like finally we got a good
good match. Yeah, not just one good performer, a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this was really good. Mystico still can go. The guy's like, I know he had a bad reputation in WWE with botches and like not protecting his opponent.
But it's the thing I tried to tell you. But we talked about it on this.
Yeah.
Mexican wrestlers, especially of the acrobatic variety, do not work well with North American wrestlers.
No.
Because they don't know how to do that dance pacing where it's like there's like a flow to it.
Yeah,
where Japanese wrestlers can easily adapt to the North American style.
Yeah, it has more of a flow to it. Whereas
it's like dancing.
The lucha style is more acrobatic. It's more daredevil, I guess, type of maneuvers. Like, let's try to do the craziest spot possible. But this was a fun match. I really enjoyed it. TJP, you could see his career is kind of winding down a little bit. Still one of the greatest junior tag teams of all time, but
I mean, I don't want to say he's winding down. I want to say he's, first of all, shout out to the Japanese for recognizing his skill level and allowing him to have this sort of like towards your end of your career facing off against really good people to get like his dream matches out.
Well, see, that's the thing. TJP, when he was in WWE, faced Sin Cara. Just it wasn't this good.
WWE match.
Exactly. Where they were handcuffed. They were tied.
And it's like, okay, I try to talk to people. Like, we talk about this all the time. I don't want to derail this far, but it's like, I watch WWE.
Yeah, it's not like we don't watch it.
I just happen to think it's the most inferior product that's out there in terms of wrestling, not storytelling, not characters or cutting promos
or talent.
Like, yeah, or talent. Their roster is absolutely stacked. They have arguably the best women's roster on paper I've ever seen. The problem is
they don't know what to do with it.
So shittily booked. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, watching a WWE pay-per-view is like I could just take a nap and I could wake up, miss the whole thing, and I would have saw everything. Do you know what I mean?
It's gonna be interesting because there's gonna be a women's War Games match this year at Survivor Series, and
there was last year.
Right, but it's going to be Bailey, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi against Bianca. Like I said, it was Bianca, Charlotte, Shotzi, and I think one more surprise member. It most likely it's going to be Jade, isn't it?
Maybe, but the thing is, in the situation you just told me, especially if it's Jade, you have 3 botch fests on one team and then Charlotte Flair, and well, Bianca has improved actually.
I think now that she's addressed her injury, she took the time off and addressed her injuries, and now she's back to form.
And she has a bit more of a repertoire now. Like, she had some more moves in the last match. But you put all the Japanese girls on one team, which that was the highlight of last year's women's match, was that we got to watch Io Sky fight against Asuka, and we got to see some of that Stardom style wrestling. You can't do that now.
Bushi Road, yeah.
See, and this is the thing where I said Japanese wrestlers can adapt to North American. It's only in the men's division. The women have such a hard time because they're so hard hitting. They don't know how to like tone it down and do this kind of wrestling.
Well, it's like the match we're going to review tomorrow. I got a little uncomfortable at one point in that 6-person.
The mixed tag.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But it was good to see Marufuji.
That was dope. Anyways, but it's always good to see Marufuji. Like, thank God he's like doing what he's still doing. His retirement is going to be a sad one.
It will be, yeah. News. They announced also Noah will be doing another New Year's show this year. So hopefully they'll bring in. That means
how many days after the New Year's thing is Wrestle Kingdom?
I think it's New Year's Day and then Wrestle Kingdom, and then the day after Wrestle Kingdom is New Year's Dash.
So, but are they like literally the next day from each other? New Year's. Like what day is Wrestle Kingdom?
Wrestle Kingdom is always January 4th, no matter what.
So like that is what I'm saying. We're going to Japan. We're gonna watch New Year's, the Noah event, and then go to Wrestle Kingdom 3 days later.
Yes. Yeah, we're physically going. Yes. I wish.
I feel like I have to.
I mean, that's one thing. Yeah. So Noah's the New Year is going to be on January 2nd. Wrestle Kingdom is on January 4th, and then New Year's Dash is on January 5th.
That's a bucket list triplet of events.
Yeah, and they're all in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's why I knew that, right? Because I think Ryogoku is where they have, or not in Sumo Hall is where they have the New Year's.
Yes, but the Arikani Arena is where they're doing Noah. The main event's already set up.
Oh, they're doing it in the arena. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they already got 2 matches. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. The 2 matches already. I'm already sold on.
Okay, we don't want to talk about this wrong pay-per-view.
Wrong pay-per-view.
We gotta go back.
Go back to New Japan. So Mystico goes over. He knocks out. He takes the win by submission over TJP. Best match of the show so far. On what's been a very lackluster. On very lackluster
up to
show.
This point, listen.
Up to this point,
AAA and NWA have dropped a few stinkers. Okay.
New Japan.
To this point, I'm at like a 5.
Yeah. I'm not very high on this one either. Next, we are going into the Eddie Kingston I Want to Beat All the Japanese Legends retirement tour of Eddie Kingston defending the Strong Openweight Championship against Satoshi Kojima.
Imagine how much more.
Go ahead.
Imagine how many more tickets you would sell if Kojima was the champion.
Yeah.
No one's coming to watch Eddie Kingston.
They were there for
especially
Kojima.
When you're the champion for your event, for your promotion, if wrestling on the mid card.
Yeah. It's a strong event, but it's headlined by 2 New Japan IWGP championships. 3, if you really think about it.
Yeah, 3 exactly.
3, if you really think about it. Those are the 3.
He's not even the second main.
This was the epitome of mid card.
Yeah, this is literally a mid card match.
And Kojima, like this was pure Moxley booking because that's a term now. We're making that a term. This was Moxley booking. Kojima absolutely obliterated Kingston throughout the whole match. Like Kingston barely got any offense in.
I didn't hate this match.
No, I'm just explaining like my thoughts.
No. I'm just saying I didn't. But at the end of the day, it was just like,
why?
And I think any real wrestling fans out there can understand the point we're trying to make of like, it's not that we don't like Eddie Kingston at all. It's that he doesn't deserve this. He's done nothing to be this guy. The
top guy of the promotion when the top guy in your promotion.
2 promotions. No one even remembers that he's Ring of Honor champion. I had a conversation with 2 different people this week that were like, who's Ring of Honor champion again? Mid conversation about Eddie Kingston. And then we're like, oh shit, it's Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
And it's like, so he's
I just forgot.
He's the face of 2 promotions
and nobody
And
cares.
it's not only that though. In the Japanese side, they're letting him run through the greatest wrestlers they've ever produced.
Yeah,
Like, when does he fight Tenzin? Is that next?
Marufuji is he?
Oh, Tamara Fuji will deny that loss. Like,
Yes.
screw that. I'm not
Who
losing to Eddie
else?
Kingston.
What's his name there? Yuji Nagata. That's going to be a match too. There's going to be a Yuji
That's going to
Nagata.
be 100%. That's going to be a match because
Yeah.
he already beat Suzuki, who's
Mhm.
now tag teaming with Nagata, and he just beat Kojima, who came up through the ranks with Nagata.
With
And I
Nagata.
don't think Tenzen's able to wrestle anymore,
No.
so it's probably going to be Nagata.
Yeah, most likely. Or what's his name there? They're gonna wheel out Tenryu like they did on that
Oh my
DDT show.
god, just roll him out to video.
Masahiro Chono. But I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
It's Antonio Inoki. He's going to fight a casket.
A casket match, literally.
He's already lost. He lost as they wheel him out into the match. Ding, ding, ding. It's over. That's too soon.
Oh my god,
man.
that's
way
dark. Too soon. Obviously Eddie Kingston retains. That's the running joke here. I don't think Eddie Kingston's a bad wrestler. I don't think Eddie Kingston's a bad person. I just don't think Eddie Kingston deserves to be in this situation.
I don't even dislike Eddie Kingston.
No, I don't.
I just think he has a very particular set of skills, very not like Liam Neeson's, and it's not world championship.
Yeah.
He's also not that popular. Tony Khan believes that Eddie Kingston is far more popular than he actually is.
Yeah.
He has a hat tip of respect from the wrestling community, but nobody's like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch the next Eddie Kingston match so he could do a stretch plum.
It's like go back 20 years and take someone like New Jack. Everybody loved New Jack. New Jack was not world champion material though. He was fun to watch. He was entertaining as hell. Violent.
It's like someone made a really good point to me. Eddie Kingston is like if they took the Brooklyn Brawler and pushed him to the moon.
Yeah, essentially that's what he is. He's the Brooklyn Brawler, except he's from Queens.
But like he's the same type of character, almost identically to what he was.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz. But no, you're right. That's exactly it. He's like the Brooklyn Brawler. Like people love him, people get behind him, but he's not championship material. That would be like you said, the Brooklyn Brawler getting the Intercontinental Championship from like someone like Randy Savage or something.
You could have had him win the TV title, the Ring of Honor TV title.
I would have been fine with that. Him beating Joe.
Samoa Joe should be the champion of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing. Like they announced last week that we're getting the final
death?
Yeah, final death.
Whatever. Everyone knows what it is. It's
the December pay-per-view, but like it's only a month away. Nothing's announced yet. Like
there was a bunch of stuff last night, and I don't know because I was totally zoned out.
On Collision or on Rampage?
Claudio was challenging somebody, but I don't know if it was going to be for tonight or it's going to be on Ring of Honor.
Is it Death Before Dishonor?
It could be.
No, but yeah, I mean, Death Before Disco.
Nice.
Yeah, but Final Battle. That's what it is. Final Battle. So this is going to be their first pay-per-view since July for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. They're only doing 4 pay-per-views now, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, there's nothing even planned for it. So Wikipedia doesn't even have a page for it. It just gives you the list of all the events for Final Battle.
Yeah, there's going to be a Billy Starks match. There's going to be an Athena match. There's going to be the finals of the Eliminator tournament. There's going to be a Ring of Honor world title match. There's going to be the tag titles most likely, and I would like to see
Takeshita against Eddie Kingston and Takeshita just destroy him.
This is a good time. This is a good time.
This is the right time to do it, or Takeshita win the TV championship or something. You got to put something around Takeshita.
No, I almost can guarantee you that TV title bracket is going to be the weakest bracket you can remember, and it's going to end with Dalton Castle not winning. And if they're smart, they'll let Keith Lee win, maybe. but I think it's going to be like Shane Taylor or something like that.
Yeah. But like I said, like Takeshita's in that situation right now, like an LA Knight type of character where you got to do something with him while the iron's hot right now. Because if he loses momentum, people will forget about Takeshita. You need to put a belt on him or something to solidify him as a main event player in AEW.
He's arguably the best wrestler they have right now. And with
The
Don
best young,
Callis,
yeah,
he's red hot.
yeah. So, but we digress. Going back, speaking of Takeshita, Blackpool Combat Club, Wheeler Yuta and John Moxley against Kenta and David Finlay.
This was a good match.
It was, and Moxley didn't bleed.
I really like Yuta.
Yeah,
he didn't.
No, which was surprising.
Yeah, I really like Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, they start brawling outside the ring before they ring the bell. Yeah,
I would like to see Wheeler Yuta maybe win the TV title or the international title.
Cause a rift between him and Moxley. You guys don't take me seriously, kind of thing. Maybe
you can use Yuta in so many ways right now, and they just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, there is like the possibilities are endless for Yuta. Like he's such a young talent. He could be on the same level as Takeshita if they had the right push behind him.
You could, and I think you can use him and create a double turn. Like you can have him go against Blackpool Combat Club and tag with Daniel Garcia, who gets turned on by Daddy Magic and those three Jagger and Jagger I called him. Cool Hand Ange and what's the tall guy's name?
Jack Swagger.
Hat? Yeah. You can, and then there you go. You have 3 on one side, 3 on the other side against 2, and they're like you can tell this year-long storyline of these 2 guys having to stop both of these groups of people from like beating them up.
Yeah, and then they eventually join forces, and you get you can do a 3-way match. You can do
you can have them win the titles, the tag titles at some point, and
even if it's the ROH tag titles, that's
they're
fine.
They're both still in a position where they're young enough that they can hang on. They don't need to get the push right away, but they should win something.
Yeah. Now the situation and that's the thing, like this is what I've noticed about AEW over the last year. They keep trotting out these 50-year-old plus guys. Like as much as I appreciate Edge, he's taking a spot away from someone younger.
But that storyline is getting really good. And
yes,
you know me,
because
I'm not a storyline guy.
He's going to put Nick Wayne over so much.
This is a really important thing, and I just want to ask you this. At this point of seeing where they are, I know Edge had the injury, okay? But, I mean, Christian's had a lot of injuries too. At this point, right now, today, when you look back at their careers, title wins aside, is Christian not better than Edge?
Titles aside, I think Christian, as far as a storyteller goes and a character, yes, Christian is better.
I don't know. I kind of think he's better in the ring.
Christian's a little better technically. Yes, I think so too. Edge has more of a power. Edge really, what he had the spear. That's pretty much all he had, right?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe from like a Daredevil thing and like willing to push the limits, you could give it to Edge. But like the in-ring work from Christian was always pretty close, and now it was definitely better. And
I think Christian also adjusted better at later in his career, as opposed to Edge became more of like a punch kick kind of guy, whereas Christian became more technical, more groundwork, more you know what I mean? Like he'll still do a few Daredevil moves here and there. But
that match against Darby was literal magic.
That 2 out of 3 falls, yeah, it was. Absolutely was. I you know, if we're doing if end of year, if we do best heel, I think Christian has got to be up at the top.
Literally read in my mind. He's got to be somewhere up there. Anyways, we're way off.
Yeah, completely off topic. Back to the topic at hand. In the words of Taz, I digress. Blackpool Combat Club, Kenta against Bullet Club. The club versus the club. This was fun. I enjoyed this match. It was a palate cleanser from the last match, and this was just like a brawl, a street fight kind of, you know what I mean? Like a dirty match, like not dirty as in like disgust, like just a dirty fight. You know what I mean? It was fun. Not
It was
something
dirty. There was food all over the floor.
that was, yeah, the arena was dirty. But surprisingly, Blackpool Combat Club go over. This also sets up that three-way match with Will Ospreay between Oxley and Finlay. And they did announce two now as well. It's going to be for a brand new championship.
So listen, between what we got in New Japan and what we got here tonight, and like the little bits and pieces that the nuggets they've been dropping, I'm gonna be honest. Even though John Moxley's part of it, I'm so excited for that match.
Yeah, and Finlay, I think to protect Ospreay on the way out, Finlay's going to pin Moxley.
It's possible. And I got to give one last thing before, I know this is off topic ish.
Yeah.
The way that New Japan is handling everything right now is so smart, and no one does this. WWE is making people wrestle house shows. Okay. AEW is making people wrestle big time matches the night before the pay-per-views.
On
New
Rampage.
Japan has benched Sonata and fucking Naito all the way until Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, they're not having any more matches till the rest of the.
They're not in the tag tournament. Nothing.
No.
They're just they're sitting until that time. How smart is that?
That's going to build up tension. They're going to come out. They're going to do a few interviews here and there, but I don't think. Yeah, they won't be in the ring. We may get it. We may get a Suji.
Having Christian wrestle that match. Sorry, I cut you off. Go.
No, I was saying we may get a Suji Uemura match somewhere at because they got to throw in a random match.
But they're young guys. They can do that.
Yeah.
They made Christian wrestle a serious 4-way match, or sorry, a match against Trent Beretta last night, literally the day before he has to have a pay-per-view match.
Yeah. 2 weeks after, like not even a week after Trent Beretta had that brawl with Shingo Takagi, which we'll review later in the show. But going on, they retain. Next, we are going into our first of three kind of main events. Zack Sabre Jr. defending the New Japan World Television Championship against Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey is the definition of always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
But I think Mike Bailey is going to be. I mean, I'm not going to allow you to say otherwise. In our nominations for Wrestler of the Year, Mike Bailey's on the list.
He kind of has to be.
He's been in so many huge matches. So many huge matches.
And quality matches.
He's rarely disappointed. Yeah.
Well, just this year alone, he's fought Zack Sabre Jr., he's fought Will Ospreay, and he's fought Tanahashi all in the same year.
And that's not even touching the tip of the iceberg of how many like big matches he's had. So good for him.
Yeah. And he's still fairly young. He's still under 30, isn't he, Mike Bailey?
I don't know for sure. Guy's good though. This was a good match.
It was.
It just the 15-minute time limit
hinders
kind of holds them back from being like an epic match. Like it hits that point and you're like, oh, it's over.
There's going to be another match. This is going to be the same situation like they did last year with Zack Sabre Jr. Remember last year, Zack Sabre Jr. and Jeff Cobb had that match, went 15 minutes, and Cobb petitioned to get a match that goes 30 minutes. And I think this is what's going to happen.
I would have been like, you know what, Wrestle Kingdom Bailey for Sabre Jr. television title, let Bailey win. But no, we're getting a stupid match against Tanahashi.
Where Tanahashi will probably win.
He will probably win.
Yeah.
By the way, just shout out quick rumors. I know like we're doing a state next week, but apparently the whole reasoning behind Okada not being part of the main event picture and the reason that
I heard the rumors
is because he's going to go to WWE.
I heard the rumors, especially now with Nakamura being a little bit more prevalent in the main event picture.
But that doesn't make sense to me because I don't care what you mean, main event picture, anything. It went from a year of being pushed to 5 years of doing nothing to getting pushed again. You're going to take one of the greatest wrestlers in the world right now, maybe not my favorite, but arguably one of the greatest wrestlers ever in New Japan, to put him in, to be neutered in WWE to get pushed down into the mid card.
Yeah. I don't know if
it's not like Jay White.
No, this is a little different situation. This is like, you're talking
probably like a huge name.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Nakamura ever was. And Nakamura was big.
Yeah. Name recognition wise, yes, within the last generation for sure. And you don't think they'll put him in the main event like against the Rollins?
No, I think he'll start off in the mid card. He'll do what Cody Rhodes is doing. He'll maybe get a title shot, he'll lose, and then he'll meander around for a year, get another shot, lose again.
Then
The only way he'll win or Nakamura will win, I'll tell you this right now.
is if they win the tag.
The only way any Japanese male wrestler is winning the world title in WWE is if they have plans of doing a show in Japan,
which they might.
So, but to me, that's the only way it's happening. And by the way, Akira Tozawa, like, what a fucking waste.
I like what you said. Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, like funny as hell, but like,
yeah,
do people know
this guy is a legend in Japan?
Like he was supposed to be the next Nakamura. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. Was it Wrestle One or DDT? Was he part of? I think it was Dragon Gate. Yeah. And
Dragon Gate. Him, Shingo, and I can't remember the third wrestler were the pillars of that generation that they were saying they were going to be the next big thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Shingo is draped in gold, and Akira Tozawa is walking around with a toy belt.
And it's from the era of Dragon Gate when El Generico was over there.
Yeah, Gabe Sapolsky was running the show at the time.
Yeah.
I know. A poor guy, Tozawa, and this guy is. And the thing is, that's the thing too. Tozawa, I would akin Tozawa to Tajiri back in the Attitude Era.
That's a good one.
Super talented, legend in Japan, legend on the hardcore scene, if you want to call it that. You know, a joke. He was William Regal's butler in WWE, right? Like,
mind you, it was really funny, but
it was funny, but he was neutered. But moving on. Zack Sabre Jr., 15 minute. This match goes the time limit. It goes 15 minutes. So Zack Sabre Jr. retains. Do you think we'll get another Bayley Zack match, or do you think?
I don't know. I hope. I liked how they ended it because it protected Bayley, because he had Bayley in a pin, I believe, and then the time ran out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it made Zack Sabre Jr. look like he won, but it kept Mike Bailey from actually losing the match.
Yeah, I agree to that. There's probably going to be another match down the road. But
by the way, Mike Bailey versus Billy Starks was really good.
Yeah, I went back and watched
that. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
We'll put a link to that match down in the description box below. So go on and check that out. So with that, we are getting into our second of three main events. This is Mayu Iwatani defending only her second defense, defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Stephanie Vacour.
Okay, so two things. Let me go and then you go, because I'm lagging and I'm going to keep cutting you off. Stephanie Vacour, over the last little bit, like we keep saying this, but it's just like because we're just watching a lot of wrestling. I've become a really big fan. I really appreciate what she's doing a lot more than when we saw her face. I think it was Sasha Banks or at one of the events.
I think it was a CMLL show we watched or something.
No, I think it was Strong. I think it was a strong event. Maybe she faced Willow. I don't remember.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. But and it was a 4-way match. That was Stephanie Vacour against Momo against. It was like for a number one contender. Yeah.
And that was, and like we didn't really see it then, but like over the last two matches we've seen, I've really like started to appreciate her, what she does a lot.
The character is a lot like Raquel Gonzalez, but better.
Way more skilled.
Yes.
But she has like a power set to her that's like,
just like Raquel does, right? Raquel is very much power set, but it's just,
she's also the CMLL women's champion. So and she's been the champion for a while.
Yeah. And she's the CMLL women's tag champion as well.
There you go. So just belts. What I did notice, and I've noticed this from maybe the last 3 matches, but this one was like, it really stuck out to me. Mayu Iwatani is very overrated, and you're not going to like me, but I'm going to say this. It's not that she's not skilled in the ring, but her ability to sell is so good that it makes you think that the match is better than the match actually is. Like
Okay.
she oversells everything, and then she also number one oversells and then gets Moxley booking. It's like watching her sell is like watching The Rock sell.
Or Shawn
And
Michaels.
it makes and it makes the match feel a lot more grand than it really is. Where like Stephanie Vacour was much more
Solid in
concerned
ring.
with being like having a really good technical match, where
Mm-hmm.
Iwatani's just flopping around, flipping and drooling and like going over top of the ropes, and you could like it just it's like I said, I don't think she's bad. I think
No.
she's one of the better women's wrestlers that's out there. I just think her position as like the top dog is unwarranted. I think Julia or Shuri are far better wrestlers, Starlight Kid, than she is. Like if you it's she has a very basic move set too. And if you notice, she just keeps reusing the same moves. It's the selling that makes you forget what's happening. You're just like, oh look, she's turned into a zombie now.
Yeah. That's very true. It's unlike we see her. We're gonna talk about her tomorrow. Yamashita, on the other hand, who is more skilled in ring.
I see her, and I said this already, but my comparison for her is Hayashi Shida. They not only kind of physically look similar, they have a similar style, and their wrestling like performance, like
their repertoire,
the way that they wrestle is very similar. I would love to see. I made a fantasy booking that one day I was hoping we could do of like women's matches, and that's one of my matches. It's those two facing each other.
Hayashi Shida against Yamashita.
Match. Yeah, they're and they're very power hitting. Like they hit hard.
Just like I'd like to see Vacour against La Catalina.
Hey, see, listen, I can't watch that because then I have to pick a side, which will pick La Catalina. But that's not the point. We digress.
We digress. But I mean, this was
my story.
Yes, just like Marufuji liked mine.
We double win.
We double win. Like for context, about a week or so ago, Marufuji posted a picture of him and Jericho at the DDT event, the one we're going to review tomorrow. And both of us commented on the photo, and I just put, "We need this." And Marufuji gave me the little like icon. I'm like, yes.
Well deserved, because we do need that.
We do need that. Either as a tag team or as a match. Give me that.
As a match. That's
a match. But we digress. Iwatani retains. What's next for Iwatani?
I don't know. Like this is the issue that you have, right?
The only it's either Mercedes or it's Julia.
It has to be, and you put yourself in a weird position because going back to what I was saying, you've so overrated her now. She's basically at like a Roman Reigns point where you can't really do anything with her because she can't lose to like a Hayashi Shida because they're too low tier in the ranking.
Has to be like a Momo or a
and she's already beat all those people.
She never beat Azumi yet.
But Azumi is, I mean, I guess so because
she's more mid card.
The IWGP isn't ranked, right? It's because Azumi's is lightweight. She's in the speed, whatever that championship's called.
But this is just the women's champion. Yeah, she's just the women's champion.
So there's a possibility of that, and Azumi versus her would be a really good match. Hazuki and her would be a really good match too.
Thekla.
I don't think they're going to give Thekla any titles. That's my problem.
Well, she has the trios, like
I mean, in all honesty, if Julia
does leave, they got to push Thekla a little bit more, right?
I think you kind of got to give Julia that win to cement her as
I personally think that's the Wrestle Kingdom match.
It has to be, and I think you let Julia win, and you hope that she holds up her verbal agreement, so at least you can have her wrestle 2 or 3 matches till summer, and then you can
keep her double belted for a little bit, and then she'll defend the strong.
Shuri win. Have her go against Shuri in her last
or Starlight Kid,
if she leaves.
Yeah,
and I think that would be good. But I'd love to see them try out Megan Bayne and have her just demolish Iwatani. But at the same time, there's no way that they're gonna let
Megan Bayne would work if she beats Julia. Because AEW have that work.
But the problem is, not only is she white, but she's also from AEW. So I don't think they would give her the title.
No. Mercedes is probably the most.
That's it. I think you're right.
You know what? I think that's the ROH the ROH show. Mercedes is going to face Julia. Mercedes beats Julia, and then the next week at Wrestle Kingdom, Julia is going to be Iwatani.
Yeah, okay. I like that. That works for me. And that's fine. And you know what? Shout out to AEW for sneakily having two undercover wrestlers in Mariah May and Megan Bain over in Japan that nobody even knew about. Because that's going to be huge for them because their women's division is suffering so bad.
Mariah May works so well with Toni Storm's gimmick.
She has been getting so much better over every match we saw her wrestle, from like the first match in the Noah show.
Yeah.
Where we were like, oh my God, this girl sucks, but she's cute. And then it was like by the last one we watched, we're like, wow, what the fuck did I just watch?
Almost akin to the way Tiffany Stratton has impressed us.
Tiffany Stratton has gotten so much better.
Yeah, she's actually putting in the work, unlike someone like a Kiana James.
Moonsault is insane.
Yeah, it's one of the nicest moonsaults out there. I gotta say that it flows.
Julia Star, I was gonna say Julia Hart has a really, really good moonsault. Like it's so amazing, I guess, because she was a cheerleader, right? But she doesn't have distance on it, so you have to be so close to the ropes with her, and it looks scary because like you shouldn't be moonsaulting that close to the ropes.
Yeah,
like her arc doesn't go anywhere. She lands like right in front of it.
Julia Hart reminds me more of a better version of Bliss.
A way better, not even close.
But that's the same type of move set. But
yeah,
I can't say the name or else my echo will go off. But
yeah. Okay, wait, we gotta go because we still have another one to do.
Yeah, we got another one to do.
Iwatani.
So like I said, Iwatani retains. Most likely the next candidate for Iwatani is Julia, and Julia is going to probably win that.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll go into our main event of the night. It's a Shingo Takagi defending the Never Openweight Championship against Trent Beretta. Trent's first singles title match in 4 years, I think it is. They said.
I don't remember
because as far as ever since they started AEW, Trent's always been in the tag team, either with Cassidy or with Chucky T. In Japan, he's always been tag team, either or with Romero, like when they were Roppongi Vice.
Have him and Chuck won anything ever as a tag team?
I don't think so.
The funny part is they're very lauded as a tag team. Like people really love them, and I like them too, but they've never won anything anywhere as a tag team, I don't think. They never won in New Japan. I think they might have won the junior heavyweight titles once.
Maybe. Orange Cassidy, Statlander. He's won tag team. Him and Romero have won in CMLL.
Yeah.
MLW, him and Romero.
Romero?
Yeah. PWG, Trent and Taylor won the tag team titles.
Yeah, because I know Trent Beretta won the junior tags like 4 times with him, with Romero.
Because Trent was also part of Chaos, right? So
yeah, they were Roppongi Vice, man. They were bangers.
He replaced when Alex Kozlov left, he replaced them.
Believe me, on our list, should it have gone that far back, they would have been on my top 10.
Yeah, we're only doing the top last 5 years, but yes.
And I think it's a shame. Spoilers! Roppongi 3K didn't make the list. Come on.
With Yo and Show.
I'm still upset that you guys didn't vote for them. Okay.
There were other teams. There were other teams in terms of
guys.
accolades.
Next week you better watch that.
It's going to be a good list, guys. So Shingo Takagi, this was a fun match, hardcore style match. Trent gets split open.
This was, I think Trent Beretta is so underappreciated because he just goes.
Yeah. Trent
just goes. He
was literally a joke when he was in WWE. He was literally a joke. When now he's like, he does the comedy gimmick, but he's a good in-ring performer.
Most of the rest of the world of wrestling was either formerly a joke in WWE or soon to be a joke in WWE.
Yeah.
Unless you're homegrown talent in WWE, you don't get treated fairly.
Yeah. That's true.
And their homegrown talent, I find, is bullshit. And I'm sorry, I had this argument with somebody like, and I'm not even defending AEW. I'm no longer that AEW guy. I'm all the way just knee deep in Japan, and I could care
Japan.
less about American wrestling.
I would take New Japan and Noah any day now.
I will take DDT over half of those because it's just such a stupid thing. It's just
Yeah.
so stupid, and I love it. But AEW's homegrown talent is people off the indie circuit that know how to wrestle. WWE's homegrown talent is like, oh, we got this guy who plays football. He can't do anything. He's not mobile at all, but he has big muscles. But we'll push him to the moon, and
Roman
then we'll
Reigns.
sit on Nakamura. We got these girls that they were like, like, I don't know. They never wanted to wrestle. They're doing this for a job, but they used to be
They were
acrobats.
fitness models or something.
Like that's, you know what I mean? Like at least Anna, why can't I think of her name?
Which one?
AEW.
Anna Jay?
Anna Jay was a wrestling fan. Wanted to, like, she never thought she was going to be a wrestler. One day she's just like, I want to do wrestling.
Well, it's like Bailey. Bailey was a wrestling fan and became a wrestler.
And Bailey's great.
Yeah, underrated. Completely
Bailey
underused
is legitimately,
right now.
and you're never going to hear me say this out loud again. Bailey is legitimately one of the greatest female wrestlers in North American wrestling ever.
Yeah. Last year at SummerSlam, you weren't high on her.
I'm not high on her as like the character she was. I hated that stupid character that she was.
Yeah. But once she shook off that ring rust, she really showed what she could do.
Yeah, I don't think she's had any really bad matches based on her.
Like every member of Damage Control is good.
Yeah, and I will stick by that. That I've always said that Dakota Kai is better than they allow her to be.
Yes.
She's no Shotzi.
No. But yet they'll still push Shotzi to the moon.
It's funny because Dakota Kai gets lumped in this weird category with Tegan Nox and Shotzi. And not that Tegan Nox is bad, but like I just think she's also not on the level of Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's because they have colored hair. I'm pretty sure that's why they're like,
Dakota Kai is a little bit more physical, I guess. She's not afraid to go in for the, you know what I mean?
She's a wrestler's wrestler. She came up through the ranks of like dirty indie
in New Zealand, Australia. Yeah. Whereas Tegan Nox is more of that catch style. She was raised in Wales,
British, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, digressing. Shingo Takagi, fantastic match.
A long episode.
Yeah, Shingo retains. Not really. We did an hour. Shingo retains. Long. I noticed the ones we don't like tend to go longer. Shingo retains. Trent Beretta did put on a fantastic match. They give each other the show of respect at the end. And after the match, who should show up to demand a rematch but Tama Tonga? We are getting Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi at Wrestle Kingdom. Why? I love Tama. I love Shingo. Let Shingo go against someone like a Taichi. Bring back the ELP feud.
Give me someone that's super underappreciated. Give me like Jeff Cobb. I don't care. Give me Great O'Khan.
Give me Doki.
Yeah, like I actually had a lot of fun with the miniature Great O'Khan Shingo feud that happened for that little bit.
Yeah. But now let's do it over a belt that actually means a little bit more.
After watching Great O'Khan in that John Moxley match, like, I'm sorry, but like, you got me hyped for both of them. Two guys that I didn't really care for watching.
Yeah, Great O'Khan has grown on me over the last couple of years.
Like, he did.
He's a slow burn.
There was a period where he started to taper off again for me, where I was like, oh, Great O'Khan.
Where it's like we're in that thing with Hanare right now. He's kind of tapered up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, so high.
We got super hyped on him, and then they kind of like just let it go.
Yeah. The air out of a balloon. But Shingo retains. Not a very good show, though. A couple good matches, but what would you give this?
Like, there were matches towards the end that I really enjoyed. But the first 5 or 6 matches are so boring. It's also a really long pay-per-view.
I mean, Fred Rosser was okay, but like that was a pre-show match, so nobody cares.
It wasn't like a special match.
Yeah, it was just a good match.
Even Eddie Kingston, it wasn't special. It was good,
serviceable.
A 6. It's in the 6s.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it recovered enough and kind of told a little bit of story to help out, like 6.5. But I wouldn't recommend watching it.
No, skip this one. Yeah, I'm giving this a 6.2. Seems fair. Like I said, it recovered at the end. The last half of the show picked it up from, I was going to give it a 5.5, but the last half of the show picked it up.
Legitimately, I wrote it down. Until we got to the Mystico match, I was at a 5, like a flat 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been like the lowest score I think we ever gave. Your AAA score I think was lower than
4.8 or something. I gave a AAA score. 4.7. I gave Noche de Campeones.
I don't think I've ever got lower than like a 5.2.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think low 6s is a fair score for this show. I wouldn't recommend watching it. Watch our review instead, because it's much better.
Yeah, it's about as long.
Yeah. Which tomorrow's review may be longer because the show itself was 6 bloody hours.
It was all like, wasn't it like 6.5 hours?
6 hours, 21 minutes from beginning to end. Like
it was so
the feed
long.
itself. The feed itself was 6 hours, 21 minutes.
So long that I watched it over like 2 days and then forgot that I never watched the main event until today when we're filming.
Whereas this one, I was able to watch it over the course of 2 days. Lonestar Shootout didn't hold my interest. It took me 3.5 days to watch it.
I watched it in one day, but I struggled. It was not a good time.
Yeah. But tune in tomorrow, guys. We will have our review of DDT's Ultimate Party 2023, which features a match. It wasn't the main event. It was a co-main event of Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita. And you'll hear our thoughts on that tomorrow. So make sure you join us tomorrow for that. So with that out of the way, make sure, like I said, go check out Campo's channel, RLG Cast. We got a Loki review out there. We got a Ms. Marvel review. Ms. Marvel, I think, was better than this pay-per-view.
The Marvels?
The Marvels, yeah.
It was.
So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye. Thank you.